what I want to do is help those women build a strong foundation mentally and financially to be in a position to harness the power of Reno profit.
You're listening to the She Renovates podcast. You're listening to She Renovates, the podcast for women who want to renovate to create an income and a life they love.
Hello everyone, and I've been a bit hit and miss on the Tuesday lives, but I'm here to say we're getting back into regular sessions where we record our podcast live. Now, today I want to talk about something that I've been working on for a little while and about to launch. So I guess one of the things that I am really keen to do is to impact the situation with women's finance, particularly women over 40. But of course, to do that, you've got to start much earlier. So this message really is for everyone. And because, as we know, that most women in Australia are behind the eight ball in terms of housing security and retirement. And I'm not going to quote the stats again because I feel like I'm a broken record, but it's been something that I've been thinking about for a while and feel that we don't do enough about. And one of the reasons that is the case is because in order to get started with renovating, you need to have some money behind you. And so when I'm doing calls with potential students, what I'm looking for is whether they've got the financial capacity to do a project, because I just don't think it's good value to be spending money on a program if you don't have the capacity to actually put it into practice. And so I actually say no to turn away more people than we accept for that reason. But I know that it takes quite a bit to actually build your financial capacity. And I believe that our community is an amazing resource for cheering on, for supporting, for inspiring others to make that leap from where they are now to where they want to be. The majority of our Wonder Women have started from a really low base, and so have managed to make that leap to be able to not only, buy a property, but to be in a position to be able to do multiple projects that improve their financial position. And so I guess one of the things that I'm really keen to do is immerse those who are not quite there into that environment. Anyhow, I felt that we haven't done enough about this, and that is about to change. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. And so basically, we have created a program that sort of fills the gap between someone who hasn't got the full capacity to get started to actually be ready to start renovating and be ready to actually impact their life with renovators. So it's sort of about getting all your ducks in the row so that you can harness the power of renovating. Because the reality is not everyone can start renovating off the bat. Sometimes there are some hurdles that you need to clear. And what I want to do is help those women build a strong foundation mentally and financially to be in a position to harness the power of Reno profit. So I think it really dawned on me recently, and those who read my email yesterday would know that, because I meet a lot of women who have come out of a breakup really badly off, financially disadvantaged. And I've almost found it frustrating thinking, why aren't they fighting for their rights? But I've realised they're not fighting for their rights because they're negotiating with a monster. many of these women are scared of the outcome of them being sort of forceful around or assertive around what's due to them, and for the safety of themselves and their children, they do their best to get out unscathed, and almost always that means that they don't get what's due to them financially. Many don't even have a home to live in. Many are renting, and so for those women, the first thing to do is to buy a property. And of course, it takes a huge sort of effort to actually get the deposit together to be able to do it. And so that's where we want to be able to help. So, and the other thing is that when you know you need to save, it can feel really frustrating how long it takes, and can tend to get a bit inconsistent because you lose focus, and can feel like they're really missing out on opportunities. So our goal in this this program, which we call She Renovates VIP, is to actually help keep focus to get to your next milestone. And if that's saving a deposit, then keep your eye on the ball. And you can feel quite trapped and overwhelmed by, financial uncertainty. So we want to be able to support them in a way that's really powerful. And I'm not doing this on my own. This is a community. I had a conversation with our diamonds about it and whether they would be willing to share their stories, because I really think that one of the things that you need to see when you are coming up from a lowish base is see people doing or having done what you want to do, because it's a bit like the if she can, I can, it's very empowering. And so they were fully on board with that. So that's something that's going to be coming into the program. So basically the mission will be to get the renovators to be Reno ready, to be able to take the next step and be able to build on their personal wealth. And I think the thing about it is that when you start off on the right foot, when you have a considered strategic plan to getting to base one, it makes success more effortless and even inevitable. And that's what we want. So the mission is to get more money and Reno savvy, to be supported along the way, to get advice along the way, and expert advice, not the advice from the people around the water cooler. And also to never be alone, to be surrounded by a supportive community. And sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up making the biggest difference in your life. So if this conversation relates to you, then think about that, the small step that's going to swing a big door. So I just want to talk through some of the what we're going to be doing in this program. So basically, it is an online program, and there will be 2 things a month to look out for. There's other things in the program, but the 2 things: one, there is a monthly module, and that will be learning or inspiration. And the second thing is a monthly Q&A. Sometimes that Q&A will be with me, but often I'll be inviting a diamond who has offered to share her story to come in and share how she got to where she is today as well. And I just want to talk you through some of the monthly modules that we're going to be doing. They're just short modules, so it's not a burden. So we'll be doing, obviously, mindset's a big thing, so that will be a monthly module. The first one is strategic planning, like setting your goal, and what that is depends purely on where you are in life, where you are financially. So everyone will have a slightly different goal as a starting point. And I have a tool in order to help you make that decision to nut out your plan. So then secondly, we want to give our renovators skills to increase their financial capacity. So ways to get more money in their life, okay? Thirdly, we want to teach you some of the core skills of renovating for profit, because for one reason, you can start producing some income with spotters fees. So we're going to teach you the research process, and we're also going to teach you the feasibility process, because they're two foundational skills for renovating for profit. So you can start practicing while you're waiting to be in the pole position. And if you find a really good deal, you may be able to earn a spotter's fee from that. So the flip side of that is encouraging our renovators to let everyone know where they're looking and where they might be wanting a project. So research, feasibility. And so then I will be covering off the 5 strategies. So cosmetic plus renovating, what that involves. Obviously, I'm not going to teach you the nitty gritty of cosmetic plus, because that's just a whole bigger story, but just an overview of things to be looking out for, because if you're doing feasibility, you need to know that. Renovating your retirement. So because we have people at different life stages and different needs. Micro development. So that's an important strategy for building wealth quickly. And joint ventures, once again, because you may have the opportunity to join a joint venture. And lastly, how to make an income from Airbnb when you don't have any property. So in the early years, we used to do arbitrage, Airbnb arbitrage, but now the strategies, like the landscape's changed with the housing crisis. That's no longer a viable strategy or an ethical one. And so now we've made an adjustment with that so that people can build their income, but on other people's properties. So I guess, as I said, the key elements to She Renovates VIP are 1, the monthly learning module, 2, the monthly Q&A. Sometimes that will be with me, sometimes it will be with a diamond, and 3, being part of the community, which I think is really important. When you are challenged, it's the people around you who lift you up, and often, the people, your friends and family are not the right people to be supporting you in this journey because they're not in it themselves. So being in that community, some of the ways that will happen is you'll get invited to the meetups. The East Coast cities will be doing quarterly meetups, and also you'll get to come to the She Renovates 2024, which is our live event, which we are doing on Finger Wharf in Woolloomooloo this year. So every second year we do it live. On the alternate year we have an online event. So you'll get to come to that. We'll also be doing a quarterly case study. So as part of those 2 monthly modules, quarterly it will be a case study. So you're learning your skill while you're in this, I guess, period of getting your ducks in a row. And lastly, after the first year, well, actually it should be up to the first year, if you get to a point where you're ready to step up and start renovating, you get 100% of what you spent back as a rebate towards the next level. So pretty much half the price of the next step to go into Profitable Renovator or the 100K program. And so I really wanted to make it as kind and as, helpful as I possibly could. Now, the other thing that you will be able to do in this program is participate in the class project. So if you haven't quite got enough money together to do your own project, then you may be able to participate in the class project. And that's an amazing experience because you get the experience of doing a project without the risk, because in the class project, we guarantee that your money is safe. And the She Renovates VIP is $199 a month. And if you pay in full, you get quite a significant discount. And yeah, if you know someone or it's you who needs to build capacity, so that's someone who's come out of a relationship and has not fared so well in the negotiations and behind the eight ball, they want to build their skill. Someone who's got to their 50s or even 60s and realised that they're not well enough prepared for retirement and they've slipped through the gaps. They don't really have the capacity to do a lot, might have a mortgage, or someone who's experienced a setback. So if you've had a project go pear-shaped, you want to start on the right foot, but you're not really in the position to turn around and go and do another one, then consider She Renovates VIP. So I'm excited about this because it's something that I feel very strongly about, and we've put a lot of thought into planning it and preparing it. And we're excited to see what you think. So on that note, I will leave you and thanks for watching.
This is the She Renovates podcast. To discover how to harness the power of renovating, check out theschoolofrenovating.com.